Hello there. I am doing this quick video in response to my latest blog post on training your rose up on a homemade, quick, easy, and affordable trellis, which I use 2 bamboo sticks, and you can use 3 or 4, just whatever you have. So as I explained in the blog post, I basically stake 2 bamboo sticks. So these roses right here are in the bottomless pots, which means I remove the bottom so that the roots can go down deep. So it doesn't really matter if you have your roses in the ground, in a pot, or whatever. So you just stake 2 bamboo sticks or even tomato cages, whatever you have available, on opposite side. In this situation, I used 2 bamboo sticks, so put one on each side, and then at the very top I just do a quick easy tie on top to hold the bamboo sticks together and make sure it is quite sturdy. I mean, it's not going to be sturdy as some other structure that are created for that, but it will do. And from there, what you do, since I already tied these up, I will try to explain it in a way that will hopefully help you understand. But in the future, I'm going to do another video where I can have my both hands free to demonstrate how I do it from the beginning, while having someone to hold camera for me while explain and do that. Basically, and it depends on the size of your roses as well. If your roses are still young, don't have long canes or crazy many canes yet, it will be a lot easier to start training. So let me go to this one right here. But if it is the canes are getting quite big and long, it can be kind of confusing as far as where do I even start. So let me start out with a simple one. This is not a climber, it's this wicked sister, but it's supposed to get tall. So I'm just going to train it as a climber and see how that goes. Whoops. Okay, so as you can see, this one right here, I used the tomato cages that I bought from Home Depot, I think maybe two years ago. Right, set up the same way. This is shorter, so these canes are not that long yet, except a few. And for new growth on some roses, it can take a few days for the canes to become stiff or hardened. And as soon as you catch new growth, they're kind of tender, so it is easier to bend to train without breaking. Some other roses, the canes are super stiff, so the chances of breaking it is higher, so you have to be very careful. Oops, I got distracted. See that bumblebee? Okay. And the way you do it, it is so simple, like you will not believe how simple it is. It's just the size of the rose. If it gets so big, long, and so many canes, that's when it's confusing. But if you don't have many to work with like this one yet, and typically out for something like this, I wait until it has so many long canes and I start training. It can be up to a year, depending on how fast your climbing rose grow the canes and all that. Some roses take longer, some don't take that long. So this one right here, this stem is quite long, right? So I just bend it on this side and then attach to that trellis and then tie with a twine. So that's pretty much like 45-degree angle. It doesn't have to be exact. And this way it will promote lateral growth coming up. Sometimes I even do as close as 90-degree angle, and I get the results as well. The trick is you just have to bend. If you let it go up straight, it will only bloom on the tip like this one. See right here, it just bloom on the tip. So with climbing roses, we want more because we are greedy. We want more blooms, so we want to create more lateral shoots along the canes. And then you just bend it. And for this cane right here, what I am trying to do is I am going to bend this way. I mean, I can do it this way, but then I can't get into this area. So I'm going to bend this way, right? And what I'm going to do is once the cane gets longer, or if it's not long enough, that's okay. I'm going to use twine to tie and hold it in this position. This one right here, can you see? And this way, this cane is going to produce lateral shoots, hopefully, from this cane, this stem. And I may not want to go that close because I have another rose over there, so I may leave it right here, but use a longer twine to hold it, to hold it in place, if that makes sense. And as your rose grow, there are going to be more canes coming out, and that's when it can become tricky as far as, okay, where will it go? The trellis is so small. You can kind of go around your roses, and once again, depending on how thick, how stiff the canes are, it can be challenging to tie around the trellis in a circle shape. And this one right here is pretty big, and it took me longer on this one because the canes were super long. I let this one grow. This one's about a year old, or almost a year old. It used to be all over the place. Like the canes can be as long as I think almost six feet in different directions, right? So I put up the bamboo sticks, and then there are some really thin canes that I feel like, okay, I'm not going to mess with it. I will just cut it off and leave only the big main canes like that to make it easier on me. You don't necessarily have to keep every single cane, and that is the key. Anything that is so thin, super thin, you can remove and make sure that you keep like something like this. And of course, with young roses, they are not going to have thin, big and thick canes right away. They are going to need the time to develop, right? So it doesn't mean that, okay, all my canes are thin, I'm just going to cut all of them. That's not what I meant. It depends on the age of your rose. If it is younger than 1 year old, I won't worry about that yet, and kind of wait it out and go from there. So this one has so many thin canes that I remove. Like this one I can probably remove too if it becomes too crowded, but right now it has buds right here, so I'm just going to keep. So what I was talking about, I know I'm all over the place, so bear with me. This one right here, the canes, this cane right here is thin and flexible, and the way that I train it, I can go around, not just to flip it on one side. I just go around. Where did it start? It started right here, right? I was able to go around that area, turn this way and up that way to create this kind of masterpiece. at least for me, because it was very hard to work on this one. And there is another shoot, really healthy, big healthy shoot coming up right here, which I, to be honest, don't know how I'm going to train it yet, because I don't know. Maybe I will go this way, or I may just go that way, because there's one stem, one cane that is super long that I tie to the fence right there. And honestly, I don't know how this is going to work, but for now I'm just going to go that way and then use the twine at the very end on the fence to hold it in this position and see what happens. So gardening is all about experimenting, by the way. So I'm just going to wait and see if that works or not. But that means going in this area is going to be challenging, because that cane is in the way. But we'll wait and see. And that's what I was talking about, to be able to go to train it, like to go around, to bend the cane in a circle motion. But you just have to see how flexible the canes are, because I almost break a few yesterday or a few days ago when I tried to do this. And there is another cane right here too that is thinner and also flexible, that I was able to go around this way and tie it on the other side. So that is that one. And hopefully this may give you an idea. I may have a few that one, or I may have to untie and then show you all when I do that detailed video of how I start from the beginning, step by step. But hopefully this gives you an idea as far as what I meant. And the act can be as simple as just bending it to the other side. I have done this so many times where I don't know what I'm going to do with the climbing rose yet, and I don't even know what kind of structure I'm going to use for that area. Like this one, Spirit of Freedom. See over here, I just used the bamboo stick and then just used it for support for that cane to go like lateral, horizontal, in order for it to promote its lateral growth. So it can be as easy as that as well, at least for a few months, to help promote the lateral blooms, lateral shoots, lateral cane growth, whatever you call it, same as this one. And at that point, I don't the beauty of the structure is not my concern yet, so it's more like a simple, easy solution for me, just to get the roses going, to provide the support that it needs. And then a year or two later, I may finally figure out what I want to use as a permanent support structure for that climbing rose. But this is what I have been using so far, and it's working quite well.